Today, I'm reviewing a bottle that has given me a little bit of a pause because I haven't heard great things about it in the community. Let's talk about it. The new Sazerac Early Times BiB. Welcome back to Foolproof Hunter. I'm Joe, and today we're reviewing the all-new Early Times BiB produced by Sazerac now. Let's get into it. So this is the all-new Early Times BiB, 100 proof. Coming in at 4 years old, 750 ml bottle where it was a 1 liter. I believe this is being distilled from Bourbon. Around July 2020, Sazerac did acquire this from Brown-Forman. They also acquired Canadian Mist and Collingwood whiskey, which I've never heard of that one. It does now come in a 750 ml bottle. It is the benchmark style bottle. You can tell that everything is pretty much the same font, same wording, same everything. It's just scaled down a little bit because of the size of the bottle. The one noticeable difference I did see, whereas where on the older bottle where there was kind of a gold tone to the embellishments and the line art and things of that nature, it's a little more subdued, a little more silverish, which I think the gold looked a lot better. But again, that's just personal preference. So really doesn't matter what it looks like. Really, it's about what it tastes like. I did recently pick this up for $20. I'm actually very anxious right now because I have not heard great things about this. That's really sad because Early Times BiB, the Brown-Forman edition, is one of the most coveted, best budget bourbons that you can have on your shelf. And if this is indeed a letdown, that is a huge blow to this brand. So let's get this thing poured up and see what it's all about. So on the nose, it feels like it's fairly similar to what I remember Early Times tasting like. There's that nice caramel brown sugar note lingering there. A little more ethanol-y. That could just be, you know, first sip of the day type stuff. It's light, it's sweet. There's some similarities there, but I do feel like the Early Times, the original, the Brown-Forman version, had a little more zest on the nose. We will compare it to the older Early Times here in just a little bit, but let's see what this one tastes like. All right. Why is it so astringent? It's just like attacking my tongue. Oaky. There's a little bit of a bitterness there. There's some sweetness there as well. Golly. Oh, man. I'm not going to judge it just yet because first sip of the day, so far I'm not impressed. Like, it's very astringent. There's some bitterness there. I don't know. The nose, again, is not bad. The nose reminds me of Early Times. Reminds me of Early Times or like a benchmark, bonded, something like that. Kind of caramel forward. That all fades. That all is there really quickly. You get those nice brown sugar notes, a light caramel. But man, it transitions so quickly into this thing that just kind of attacks you. I don't know. All right, we're gonna pour up a little bit more and we're gonna keep sipping on this. This is a fresh crack. Again, the nose is really nice. All right, one more sip and then we're gonna compare it to the old Early Times. Okay, it's starting to tame down some, or I could just be acclimating to it. There's still something there that kind of attacks the sides of your tongue just a little bit. Even on the third sip, I'm still getting it. Let's get the old bottle of Early Times and put it up against it. All right, old Early Times. Oh, way more vanilla, way more of a rich caramel. You know, like a caramel that's been baked a little bit darker. There's a little more depth on the nose. Yeah, a little more richness, a tinge more oak, but it's not bitter. It's the nose on the old wins. All right. Oh my God. It's been a long time since I've had this version of Early Times. That is so smooth. It's so full of sweetness and caramel and this nice kind of breadiness that's not like a grain breadiness, but like a a scone. I relate it back to a scone, like a buttered scone. Ah, a little bit of oakiness. This just smells younger. Now, we don't know exactly how old these are. You know, this 4-year Early Times could have been 5-year, 6-year product. Same exact mash bill. The only difference being where they distill it. There could be a difference in the yeast strain. That could make a difference. But it's about where this is being distilled versus the Brown-Forman version, and where it's being aged, and what barrels it's in, right? There's a whole bunch of factors that come into it. Geographic region, the barrels, the yeast strain. Is this a sweet mash or a sour mash? It doesn't really say. I'm sure someone knows. And if you can say in the comments if this is a sweet mash or a sour mash, let me know. Yeah, the nose on the old is way better. All right, let's try the palate again on the new bottle. Why does that attack you so bad? Oh, that astringentness, sharpness on the tongue is very off-putting. It's just not here on the old one. Well, there you have it. It's definitely not as good as the old. I assume this is the first batch of that run, but it's definitely a fall off from the olds. Again, I picked this up for 20 bucks. That's a huge letdown. That really sucks. That stinks. That's really bad crap. Maybe they'll get better. Maybe this first batch is, you know, just working the kinks out, figuring it out, whatever. You know, Sazerac's a big company. They'll get it figured out. They'll get it dialed in. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. Sazerac's a big company, got tons of money. They'll figure it out. They'll make it good. That's my 2 cents. All right, well, that's all I got to say about this one. This is definitely not as good as the old. If you can find these still in the wild and you're a fan, I'd say go ahead and pick some up. I already have. I picked up several extra ones. You guys let me know down in the comments, have you found this yet? If you have, what'd you think about it? Is Early Times one of your go-to budget pours? Sound off in the comments what you think about this new bottle if you've had it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got a push to 1,000 subscribers. Really like to hit that in the next few months. And until the next time, not even gonna cheer with that. Cheers, y'all.